Well, good morning to you all.
Good morning.
I don't know why that sounded so rural the way that I said it. This morning we're standing in kind of a unique spot. We are at the Tri-Corner where Missouri, Oklahoma, and Arkansas all come together. So, when I put my hand on top of this rock, I'm touching 3 states at once, which is cool. Candace is here too.
So is Riley.
Yeah,
I don't know if you can see her.
Yeah, she's a little heavy, so she's kind of hanging low today. So for today's plan, we are coming back into Oklahoma because we have some really weird things that we have just got to see.
Yeah, so we're doing some odd things in Oklahoma today.
Just stuff that when you see, you say, huh, how about that?
Made it to our second stop of the day at the Grove's F4 Phantom Jet.
Grove is a very small town in Oklahoma, right over the Missouri border, and they just happen to have a full-size F4 Phantom.
That's the thing behind us,
yeah,
if you didn't know.
That's the big plane, yeah.
This was donated. It was bought here in 2018, so not terribly long ago. But the F4 Phantom jet, I was reading up on it, and it said it was the most feared jet in both the Cold War and the Vietnam War. And apparently it can travel more than twice the speed of sound, which is pretty darn fast.
It's about how fast Candace drives when there is no speed limit available to her. Riley likes it too.
She's a fan.
Yeah. It reminds her of her time in the Air Force, I think.
So we're just gonna meander around here for a bit, and then we'll see y'all at the next odd stop.
Well, we have driven a little bit from the F4. I don't really know where we are, to be honest with you, somewhere in Oklahoma, looking for the Cowboy Muffler Man.
Sad turn of events. It appears he has been sold and is no longer at this location.
But this is what he looked like.
So there's still about 180 of these. They're not all muffler men. Some are like Paul Bunyan, some are holding other things. But I guess it became a thing when in the 1960s, the International Fiberglass Company made a Paul Bunyan for a restaurant in Arizona off of Route 66. Don't mind Riley's whining. She was excited to get out and see the Cowboy Muffler Man.
Yeah, she's a little upset.
But when it was made for this restaurant in Arizona, they realized that it was kind of like a selling point for people to stop by and take pictures with the Paul Bunyan. So a bunch of other businesses wanted a statue for themselves. So it kind of became a big thing, especially along Route 66. There's a lot of them along the route.
We've seen several of them on our travels. The biggest, or the one that jumps to mind for us, is when we were in Atlanta, Illinois. Right on Route 66, there was a giant one there.
That one I think was a Paul Bunyan.
Yeah.
So sadly we do not get to see the Cowboy Muffler Man.
Yep, he was sold off. There's a timber frame where he stood, but he is no more. Looks like the business closed, so maybe they needed some money.
But anyways, on to the next stop, I guess.
Gray Garage and Service Station opened up in the 1930s to give Route 66 travelers a place to fill up or get repaired. It was also known as F.D. Mitchell Conoco Gas Station. It has a pretty peculiar rock-faced facade with dinosaur-like stone battlements. Obviously, it's not open anymore, and there's not much information on it that we could find. So, that pretty much sums this one up. Our next stop is right down the road. Well, next on the agenda is the Cross Star Flag and Tag, and although it's supposed to be closed during the wintertime, it's such a nice day, the guy opened the doors up.
So that's nice.
Which is completely surprising. We were going to be fine looking at just the outside, but he's opening up some doors and some other stuff so we can get more of a full tour.
So far, it's pretty cool. This was described on Google as like an eclectic art kind of exhibit by Handyman.
Yeah, which is probably him. But yeah, just a bunch of really cool art and stuff like that. We're going to walk around for a while and enjoy the fact that it's open when it's not supposed to be.
So far we haven't found the cowboy muffler man here. We thought he might be here.
So to finish up our odd Oklahoma day, we are going to give this little demonic minion that we have her Oklahoma French fry. Candace, where did we stop?
We have stopped at a very weird looking place called Wayland's Cuckoo. It's been around since the 60s. There used to be many locations, but this one in Miami, Oklahoma is the only one left.
Yeah, like over 200, which is a pretty darn big chain. Inside, it's kind of famous for like Route 66 memorabilia and really cool looking stuff. Their lobby is closed, so we had to do the drive-through. We were in the drive-through for about 40 minutes, I think. So, anyway, that's enough talking. Riley is quite ready for this fry. Riley, this is your Oklahoma fry from Wayland's Cuckoo. Was that worth 40 minutes? Yes, that's where.
Yes, I would like more.
That's where the rest of the fries are, but you're not having any more.
Also got food, but I don't think we're going to film it.
No.
I will say this place is incredibly cheap.
We got a double hamburger with fries, a chili cheese dog with tots, and it was $10. My hamburger was like $3.50. Candace's hot dog was less than $2.50. Like, holy cow. That's
crazy.
You don't get that anymore.
This is going to wrap up our Oddities in Oklahoma video. We hope you enjoyed the unique attractions. Sorry we couldn't show y'all the cowboy muffler man. I know that would have been the highlight of this video.
Yeah, Candace really took that hard. She was very disappointed. When I couldn't find it at first, she was like, oh, well, I'm sure it's around here, it's around there. And I said, oh, it's gone. And then she found out that it had been sold. She really took that pretty hard. So as always, we'll see y'all somewhere.
Thanks for watching Riley Roams. Click subscribe to keep up with all of our latest travels, and don't forget to click that like button too.